The city of New York was never truly quiet, not even at midnight. But tonight, the silence was unsettling. Even the usual hum of distant traffic seemed muted, and the shadows stretched unnaturally across rooftops, longer than they should. Peter Parker swung through the darkness, trying to shake off the eerie sensation creeping up his spine. It had begun 3 nights ago. Reports of entire buildings going dark, electrical outages, residents missing, whole apartments hollowed out. When the NYPD broke in, they found nothing. No bodies, no signs of struggle. Just layers and layers of sticky black webbing clinging to the walls, pulsing faintly, as if alive. The first encounter. Peter followed the trail to an abandoned subway station beneath the city. The ceiling dripped moisture. Tracks lay rusted and silent, but from deep inside, a wet skittering echoed through the tunnels. He felt it before he saw it. Vibrations trembling through his fingertips against the web shooters. Not just one source, 1,000 faint tremors, like something crawling everywhere. Suddenly, a figure lurched from the shadows. At first, Peter assumed it was another victim. But the man's eyes glowed a sickly silver, his veins darkened with a black sludge. When he spoke, the voice wasn't his own. It was layered, echoing, and human. "They're waiting, Spider-Man. And they're hungry." Before Peter could react, the man's chest convulsed violently. From his mouth burst a torrent of smaller spiders, hundreds of them, skittering along the man's skin and flooding the walls. Peter burned them back with webbing, but more poured forward, dragging the husk of the man into the dark tunnels. The nest. The following night, Parker investigated further. Each tunnel he explored seemed to lead him in circles, walls wrapped with impossibly thick webbing unlike his own, darker, stronger, and almost breathing. In the heart of the tunnels, he stumbled upon a nest. Corpses wrapped in black silk dangled from the ceiling, faces contorted in frozen screams. But as Peter looked closer, he realized the bodies weren't dead. Their chests rose and fell rapidly, their eyes wide, pupils dilated. They were cocooned, forced to stay alive, pulsing with hyperactive heartbeats. Food. Living storage. That's when he heard it. A voice, splitting through the air like a whisper crawling over glass. "Brother." From the shadows unfolded a massive figure, humanoid yet arachnid. Its body mirrored Peter's frame, long arms, muscular build, but the features were grotesquely wrong. A mouth that split too wide, fangs dripping with venom, and dozens of milky white eyes blinking across its forehead. Its entire body was wrapped in an overlapping black web suit, twitching and crawling as if alive. "I am what you fear you will become," it hissed. "The spider that doesn't pretend to be human. I am hunger given form." Peter fired his webs, but the creature caught them midair and consumed them, as though devouring threads of silk fed its strength. The fight in the dark. The battle erupted through the tunnels. Each time Spider-Man struck, the monster split into thousands of smaller shadow spiders that scattered into the walls, rejoining into its larger body moments later. It was relentless, feeding on his energy, growing stronger with every clash. At one point, it pinned Peter to the tunnel wall, whispering directly into his mask. "You wear your spider self like a costume. But one day, the hunger will win. Then you'll shed Peter Parker like rotten skin." Peter's strength waned as the air filled with the screams of the cocooned victims, vibrating the walls with maddening echoes. The final moment. In desperation, Peter detonated an abandoned electrical generator in the tunnels, releasing a surge of blazing current through the web-coated walls. Sparks ignited the sticky network, burning black fire through the nest. The humanoid creature shrieked in unearthly tones as its body liquefied into shadowy swarms that scattered into the night. The flames consumed the cocoons, leaving bodies limp in their bindings. Spider-Man freed the survivors, but most were far beyond saving, their bodies hollow shells drained of vitality. Only a handful blinked weakly, murmuring fragments of nightmares that weren't theirs. Back above ground, Peter tried to shake it off, just another monster vanquished. But later, alone in his apartment, he saw something in the reflection of his window. For just a second, above his shoulder, he glimpsed dozens of pale white eyes blinking back at him. Then nothing. But when he turned off the lights and lay in bed, Peter could hear it. A whisper in the dark, crawling at the edges of his thoughts. "Brother."